Okay, advantages and disadvantages of TCP/IP. There are several advantages and disadvantages of the TCP/IP protocols. The advantages are it's an open protocol suite, it's scalable client-server architect, which means like network can be added without disrupting current service. So if you're doing something, still you can add the TCP/IP. Moreover, it is interoperable in that it allows cross-platform communication among heterogeneous networks. So there are like different topologies in the network. You can mesh network, heterogeneous network, cloud network. We'll go through this when we'll do the network basic next module. It assigns an IP address to each computer on the network, thus making each device identifiable over the network. So every computer on the network have a different IP addresses, and that's how it's recognize each others in the network. Those are the advantages. Disadvantage, it does not clearly separate the concept of service, interface, and protocols. This does it is not ideal for describing a new technology in the new network. So TCP/IP does not separate the services or interfaces of the protocols. It's like a common protocol, commonly used widely in the network system. The HTTP protocol. So the HTTP protocol abbreviation is the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It's an application layer protocol in the Internet Protocol Suite, model for distributed, collaborative, and hypermedia information system. So in the Internet, we use the HTTP protocol. It goes through the application layer. So any request is sending to the application, it uses the HTTP protocol for your request and respond. HTTP is the foundation of the data communication for the World Wide Web, and where the hypertext documents include hyperlinks to other resources that are user can easily access. For example, a mouse click or tapping the screen in the web browser. So when there is you can see like a link, right? When you click that link through the mouse or just tap it if you're using the touch screen, this protocol is responsible to take that, open that link. So if I'm opening mouse, the documentation on the mouse is on the web server. So when you click on the mouse, it will take you on that page, which gives you all the information about the mouse. So because HTTP protocol is application layer protocol, this is responsible to opening that information within the web server. So that's called like hyperlink. Link within a link. So hypertext refers to text that includes hyperlinks and unidirectional links that connects documents with the other document. Like a same document have a different branches or different other documentation. So protocol is a system that rules that allows for data to be exchanged between different devices, and HTTP is an application level protocol, meaning it defines the format by which application process on different devices exchange data. Thus, HTTP protocol is the system of rules which allows data to be transferred using the www, where uniform resource locators URL can be linked together by the hypertext protocol. So like www.google.com. So www is the consortium of a internet. And HTTP protocol binds that www.google.com. So whenever you click that google.com, it will open the new page because of the HTTP protocol. And it works on the application layer protocol. So the basic prefix is HTTP : /2 /. That's the HTTP prefix. So which means that the website is using a secure encrypted form of communication for request response. So using HTTP : //2 means that your website is secure, is encrypted. The data cannot be retrieved without your authorized personnel. Any question there?
I have a
No.
quick question.
Yeah.
So there are so many protocols like application protocols, TCP/IP protocols. So the last one, that hypertext protocol, is that like a part of application protocol? Like, are there
No,
layers of
application,
protocol?
application, those are the layers, application layer, transport layer, data link layer, physical layer, those are layer of the network.
Okay.
So HTTP protocol goes through the application layer. So whenever you send any info, any request, it's transported through the application layer.
So only the application layer or the other layers as well?
No, it first of all it goes to the physical layer
Okay.
to recognize the devices, the IP addresses. Then it goes
Okay.
to the transport layer, like through
Okay.
the transport. The data should be transport, and finally it comes to the application layer, the way the data should be visible to you.
Okay. I understand.
Okay. So those are layers, and these are the protocols: the HTTP, FTP, SMTP, IP, TCP, IP. Those are the protocols used on the different networking system. So like TCP IP used when you're connecting the internet. Without TCP IP protocol or IP address, you cannot connect your computer to the internet system and through the internet system to the other systems. So
TCP/IP
there is a
protocols are transferring the request, right?
yes, TCP protocol is responsible to transport the data through the network, and IP
Okay.
protocol is responsible to identify the IP address of the client and server. Response,
Yeah.
request and response.
Yeah. Just like 192.168.
Yes, those are the IP address, TCP IP
Yeah.
address. DNS server, we already know that DNS server is the computer server that contains database of public IP address. So, like google.com, microsoft.com, or example.com, all these things have a TCP IP associated with those names, and those all IP address is kept in the DNS server. So whenever you're sending the request, like Microsoft.com, it goes through to check the IP address, related IP address, with that name associated, and if it is there, it finds, then it's send the request to the web server, whatever things you are requesting. And then the web server get the request, it's process the request and send it back to your web browser to see the content. And if it does not have any content which is you requesting, then it will give you the different error message based on that error, like 400, 402, or 503.
Can you give us an example of the DNS server? Like,
I think I gave you it. One showed you. Here, you have a DNS. You have a DNS server and the web server, and your browser. So this
okay.
IP address that is related to example.com. So whenever we can write this address
Yeah.
and enter it, or we can write example.com. So normally it's hard to remember the IP addresses, different IP address of the different website.
Yeah.
Normally we go by the name. So whenever I write the name, it goes actually find the IP address of that name associated on the DNS server. DNS server keeps all these IP addresses, nothing else.
Okay.
And then when it finds the web page, then it gives a send request to the web server. So if I'm looking for the price page on that web server, it looks for that website, look for the name service. If it finds it, then it sends the request to the web server that I'm looking for the price list. And if the web server has the price list content within the server, it will give it back to the browser. Otherwise, it will send me the error message.
Yeah.
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 In the DNS server, how is it stored in there? By the name or the URL?
No, it is stored by the IP address.
The URL, okay. IP address.
Yeah. And also the name is associated with that. But normally it's IP address. And in most cases, serves to resolve or translate those names into IP addresses. So whenever you're writing those names, that means it goes to the translate to the IP address and as requested. And DNS server runs special software and communicate with each other using special protocol. So the purpose of the DNS server. The DNS server sits in the space between human and computer to help facilitate their communication. It's easier to remember the domain or host name like lifeware.com than it is to remember sites IP address like this IP is 151.101.2 and 14. So you can access the website like Lifeware. All you have to type is www, the URL, right? www.w.com. So if you type it, that means you're getting this IP address. And whatever contents within the IP address have, you can access it and view it. So those are the DNS server's main job. Any question? So how DNS
It's
server
like
resolve
basically,
it? Yeah, go ahead.
it's like basically how we save our phone numbers in our phone.
Yeah.
Like we put the Uddin Bhai and then the
Yes.
number, but all I
Yes,
do
the number,
when I
yeah.
dial, I
Mhm.
click on your name, it dials the
Yes, so
number,
it
right?
actually get the number and dial it. So it's the same way the DNS service works. So how DNS servers resolve a DNS query? So when you enter a website address into your browser address bar, the DNS server goes to the work to find the address that you want to visit. It does this by sending a DNS query to the several servers. So as I said, like it sends or translates a different part of the domain name to you enter. So whenever you're writing a domain name, the DNS server sends this request to the several servers because it don't know which server have that information. And by doing that, whenever it sends a request to different servers, the servers responds back to the DNS server that I got this name on my side. Other servers response we don't have. So different servers queries are like a DNS resolver and a root server. Or DNS resolver is like receive the request to resolve the domain name with IP address. So DNS resolvers, it takes the name and try to relate the IP address associated with that name. That's how it's resolving. It finds the name. And root server receives the first request and returns a result to let DNS server resolver know that what the address of the top level domain server that stores the information about the site. The top level domain is the equivalent of the .com or .net portion of the domain name you enter into the address bar. So a DNS resolver receive the request and try to resolve the domain name associated with the IP address, and the root server is take the first request and returns result to the DNS resolver that what address or .com or .net or .edu, what are the top level domain is associated with that name. So that's how it's queried within the DNS server. Try to find the domain name before sending the request to the web server. Any doubt? Clear?
So for an example,
Yeah.
let's say we're trying to retrieve google.com. So DNS resolver will get Google's IP address, and the
Yeah,
root server will get the .com part, right?
yeah, .com or .net, whatever related to the top level domain.
Yeah.
And together, the ones they find that, then they'll send the request to the web server that I want this information.
Okay.
And there is a TLD server. The DNS resolver then queries this server, which will return the authoritative name server where the site is actually returned. And an authoritative name server is finally the DNS resolver queries this server to learn the actual IP address of the website you are trying to deliver. Once the IP address is returned, the website you wanted to visit is then displayed on your browser. So this is how like DNS server queries whenever you send a request and trying to find that request name server, and then it shows you on your browser.
Wow, that's a lot of servers.
Yeah, it's not only one. I mean, they have like, that's why I say it's a huge setup there. That's why people go to the web service companies to host there. If you want to do yourself, you can do it, but you have to do all these setups, all these high-end computers and the softwares, maintenance, security, all these things. So when you enter a website address into your browser address bar, the DNS server goes to what? Find. Oh, we did it, right? Sorry. A primary and secondary DNS server. So there is also a primary and secondary server. So primary server is the, most cases the primary and the secondary server are configured on your router or computer when you connect to your internet service provider. So there are two DNS server in case one of them happens to fail, in which case the second is used to resolve the host name you enter. So they said like, you don't have only one server, even web server, you have backup server. Even DNS also have a primary and secondary DNS server. So if one of them goes down, still the other one will resolve your queries and give you the requested result. A computer or device, including a smartphone and tablets connected to your router, can use a different set of DNS server to resolve internet addresses. This will supersede those configured on your router and will be used instead. So it's primary and secondary server, or you can select main server and backup server, same thing. So they can have multiple secondary DNS server or multiple primary server based on their capacity. So how you can obtain your entire server information? So there is a NS lookup commands which is used to query a DNS server on your PC. You can also use the opening command prompt and then typing the following things. Open the command prompt in your computer and try to type this command. You'll see this server name and the addresses it will give you. Open your command prompt, CMD. And try to type this one, nslookup.lifeware.com. You'll see that you'll get the domain name lifeware.com and the addresses associated with this, the hardware addresses, you'll get it, and then you'll get the IP addresses. Everyone got it?
Yeah.
So first one, you're getting the name, which is the name of the domain. Second addresses, those are like physical addresses of your computer, network addresses. And then you're getting 151, 101, 66, 137. Those are the IP addresses associated with the DNS. So there are 13 important DNS root server on the internet that stores a complete database of domain names and their associated public IP addresses. Those top tier DNS server are named A through M for the first 13 letter of the alphabet. 10 of these servers are in the US, one in London and one in, I think, Germany. So what is the URL? Anyone?
Uniform resource location.
Yes, it's a uniform resource locator. So like google.com, that's a www.google.com, right? That's the URL. Unified resource locator, like locating where this google.com is located. So which is commonly called as a web address. It's a reference to web resource specifying its location on the computer network and a mechanism for restoring it. So URL is a special type of uniform resource identifier, although sometimes those two terms are used interchangeably. In the majority web browser, the URL of the web page is displayed of the page and a US address bar, right? So here's the, like you have a HTTP, which is a protocol you're using, hypertext transfer protocol, and www is the subdomain, and Google is the domain name.
But all the subdomain are the same, but it could be changed.
Yeah, so this is the protocol we're using, HTTP. Without this protocol, we cannot see this information. So that's why there is a HTTPS. And www is a subdomain. Within this subdomain, you have the domain name Google, and .com or .net or .edu. Those are the domain label. So the URL can be composed of words of Internet Protocol address. Generally, user enter the name as they are easier to remember the numbers. So the syntax of the full web address is the following. There is a prefix, domain, and there is a port, path, and file name. So schema is one of the concepts from the database where those data are stored. Clear? What is the proxy server and cache server? So beside web server, DNS server, we also have a proxy server and a cache server. So proxy server acts as a gateway between you and the internet. It's an intermediary server separating any user from the website they browse. So it's a, you can see here your client, you're sending a request, and then it goes to the cache proxy or proxy server. And once you connect it through the internet, the other side of the server, they also have a proxy server. So basically this proxy server sending the request to this proxy server, and this proxy server is sending requests to the servers. Like there are a couple, there is a database server, there's an application server, there's a main server. They're sending the request to all of these servers to get the information. So if there is any data needed, it will go to the database server and get the data, get it back to the proxy server. From proxy server, you'll get the response. Next time when you're sending same request, it does not need to go all the way in the server here, because that information already is stored in this proxy server. So it will get it from here and just give it back. So it will not go all this path. Clear? Anyone? Any question? No? Did you guys understand the concept or still you have it out?
Can you please explain again? I'm kind of confused.
Okay, so the server, we can have a database server here. We can have application server. We have like other operating system, different servers there, right? Stack of servers. These all are
Right.
servers, right? In the server side, we have another server called proxy server or cache server.
Okay.
This is called like reverse cache proxy. And on the client side, we have a client, and they also can also have a cache server, which is called forward cache proxy server. So when you're requesting some information, it goes to the proxy server, and then proxy server sends the request to the server side proxy server, which is reverse cache proxy, right? So this forward cache proxy and reverse cache proxy, they communicate, and then reverse cache proxy server send the request to all the servers that I need this information. So if there is a database required, it will get the information from the database server. If there is any application related information needed, it will get it from the application server. If there is other information needed, get it from other servers, right? It takes back this server and then it's sent to the proxy cache server, which is on the client side, not sending that directly to the client.
Okay.
And then this proxy server sends the information to the client on the web browser, right? Next time, if you are requesting same thing, same information, it will not go all the way here because this server already have that information stored for you. So it will take, when this server get the request, it will not go further. It will give you the information from its own server to you. So that's how it's like faster retrieval. You get the information faster. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. So proxy cache server is a type of proxy server that cache web page that user request on the internet. You can use a proxy cache server like a regular proxy server at the border of the private corporate network in order to cache the web pages returned from the internet when user in the private network requests them. So that's the concept of proxy server. It is actually another server which act as a proxy of the main server. You can set up the proxy server in your browser. So to set up a proxy using automatic configuration script, you can use these steps like open the setting, click the network internet. You can see the network list of the network internet related setting appears. Click proxy and the list of available proxy setting appears. Try it on your computer, open the setting from the main menu. Click a setting from the main menu. And on the left side, you will see network and internet, under which you will see Wi-Fi, Ethernet, VPN, mobile hotspot, proxy. You guys can find it?
Yes.
And click proxy. You will see there automatic proxy setup, user scripts, setup script. So you can, if you click on, if the automatic detect setting is on, normally you don't need to set up it automatically. Your proxy service is set up on your computer. But you can also set up manually. So if you set up manually, you click that setup, and then you will see that your edit setup that is off. If it is click on, then you have to put your script address. And then save it and close it. That's how you can manually set up your proxy server also.
Where I can get a IP address if I do on manually.
You need to get the IP address from your web hosting services where they have put your files, all these things within which server. and then you can use that IP addresses. Okay.
Okay.
So normally we don't do that. Normally we prefer to just do it automatic settings. So it's normally take IP address from the system that does not conflict with any other systems. So how does the proxy server operate? So basically, a computer on the internet with its own IP address that your computer knows. And when you send a web request, your request goes to the proxy server first. The proxy server then makes your web request on your behalf, collect the response from the web server, and forward you to the page data you want to see, as I explained before with the picture. So when the proxy server forwards your web request, it can make changes to the data you send or still get the information that you expect to see. A proxy server can change your IP address so the web server does not know exactly where you are in the world. It can encrypt your data so your data is unavailable lastly. So normally another good thing using proxy server is that it will not show your actual IP address of the computer to the web server. Because when it sends the request, it gives the different IP address. When the server sends the request to here, it will not show, it will not give your actual IP address of your computer. It will not transmit to the server or this proxy server here. So what is that? It's encrypt your IP address and it's generate new IP address and sends the data with that IP address. So normally when this proxy server sends request, it doesn't know you are there or not. So normally see whatever this proxy server gives IP address. So it sends to him. And then this server knows your actual IP address, then it transmits to you. So in that way, this servers or someone sitting here does not know from where you are operating. You are operating from US or Canada or Bangladesh or Italy, where? Because the IP address is encrypted. So that's why people use a proxy server for the security and hiding their information. It's like anonymous.
So if, like from some websites, you cannot access from different countries.
Yeah.
So if you use a proxy, you can access it from there.
Then no, if I set up the proxy server and I set up the rules, then you cannot access from any other country. If I set up there like only that from USA you can access it, right? And certain IP address are used to access my company information, which is in the US boundary, because there are like DNS servers in the world, right? They're in different places. So if I bind the rule, then you cannot access it. But if I kept open, then you can access it.
Now I'm saying like some website I was clicking the other day, they're like Indian website, and it says you cannot access this website from your location or for the
Yes,
country.
because that location is not given to the server, is blocked.
But yeah, it knows I'm trying to get it from the United States.
No, it does.
If I use a proxy,
it knows from United States, but it doesn't know your IP address. So country-wise, it is blocked. Country-wise, that is blocked, that you cannot access from these countries. These other countries are blocked.
okay, even though I'm using proxy, but still it's no, I'm from United States.
No, still you cannot go through them because there are also like some other rules which is overriding your proxy server. So when the proxy server forward your web request, it can make changes to the data you send. See, like when you send a request, it can make changes to your data. That means like the proxy server can be overridden by the system when you blocked. So and lastly, a proxy server can block access to certain web pages based on the IP address also. So in the proxy server, they have blocked the countries, and based on those countries, the IP address also blocked. That's why when you are trying to access the information, it's rejecting. So why should you use a proxy server? So there are several reasons organization individuals use a proxy server, like to control the internet uses of the employee and children, right? So when you're using proxy server, you can set different rules, what website you can access or not, who can access or not, all these things. And also you can save your bandwidth by improving the speed. So whenever you are sending the bandwidth, you're improving your speed, right? Also, you're saving the privacy benefit, improve the security and get the access blocked resources. Those are the benefits you will get when you use the proxy server. So most of the organizations and individuals use the proxy server to get the benefit of these things. Any question, guys? No question?
That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah. So what is the HTML? Anyone knows? So as we said, like the web page, the contents you see, those are like based on HTML. HTML is a hypertext markup language, which is used for creating a web page and web application. So all the web pages and web application you see to this world, all are created through the HTML language, hypertext markup language. So hypertext means like text within text. So it's like a nested, right? So you see that you click google.com and you click like home and you see some contents like so. Within the content, you have the content. This is hypertext. So hypertext is a way to link two or more web pages, HTML documents with each other. So whenever you click the link, it brings you the new web page. Markup language is a computer language that is used to apply layout and formatting convention to the text document. And it makes text more interactive and dynamic. It can turn text into images, tables, links, etc. So markup language is used for using your image, different tables, different links, all these for these things, you use that markup language. And web page is a document which is commonly written in the HTML and translated by a web browser. So web page can be identified by the entering URL, and a web page can of the static or dynamic type. With the help of HTML only, we can create a static web page. So the web page can be a static or dynamic. It's written in the HTML for language, which is translated by a web browser. Web browsers can translate those HTML language and show you the contents. And the web page can be identified by entering the URL.
Could you write HTML language in DOS?
Yeah, so yeah, we'll come there.
Okay.
So what is HTML? As you said, HTML is a language which is used for creating the web page. So here is a simple example of the HTML document. How you can write the HTML document, right? So first here you see
Document type.
doc type. This is like you can write it here, whatever the document type is, like informational. and it will be closes with both sides. And then these things you have to close in brackets, right? Then you have HTML versions. You have a header. This is the header title, right? So head, whenever you open the heading, you write your information, you have to close with the heading. So that is like closed, and you have a body. So you open the body, the information is here, and you have again close the body. But this HTML and HTML, you should provide these two to close full packet. So whenever the packet, we are saying that computer, like when you send the request, it's kind of a packet which have a head, body, and tails. It's take this information and transport to the server and decrypt this information. With server decrypt it and read this information and process it and then encrypt again and send it back. So here title is the web page title is the title. Then write your first heading. This is the another body message. Write your first paragraph, right? So these are simple HTML documents like you can read. All right. So when you doc type is what? It defines the document type or instruct the browser about the version of the HTML. What version of the HTML it's using with the doc type, then instruct to the browser. An HTML tags is information of the browser that is an HTML document. So writing the HTML, it must show telling the browser that this is a HTML document. Head, it should be the first element inside the HTML element which contains the metadata, like information about the document. It must be closed before the body tag opens. So before you open the body here, the body, it should close with that tag again. Same as the title, its name suggests that it used to add the title of the HTML page, which appears at the top of the browser window. It must be placed inside the head tag and should close immediately. So this is like optional. You can use this or you cannot. You even do not use it. That's fine. Not mandatory, but your head body should be is mandatory. And the body is the text between the body that describes the body content of the page that is visible to the end user. So whatever in the body inside the body, we see that information when the browser opens it. And this tag contains the main content of the HTML document. And H1 is text between describe the first label heading of the web page, like H1, like H2. So those are like a label of the document. Like H1 means like first level document. If you put H2 there, it will be shown as a second level document. And P is describe the paragraph of web page. So if there is like P and then you have some information and close by P, that means this is a paragraph within the HTML document. Okay, guys? Or any doubt?
Need a practice, you know.
Yeah. So there is a lot of HTML versions. We have HTML1, HTML2, HTML3, HTML4, HTML5. Currently, we used HTML5 to create our web page and create our documentations. So these are nothing but like versions of the HTML. So what are the features of the HTML? So it is very easy and simple language. As you see that it's very easy to read and write. It's nothing like the coding is not in that extent that you cannot understand. There's only 3 parts and some of the obstacles. It can be easily understood and modified. And it's very easy to make an effective presentation with HTML because it has a lot of formatting tags. So using the tags, you can define your contents of the body, title, or end documentation. It is a markup language, so it provides a flexible way to design web pages along with the text. And it facilitates the programmers to add link on the web page by HTML anchor tag. So when you use an anchor tag, that means any linking documents you want to use within your text, you can use the anchor tag. That means when you click that link, it will open the new pages. It is a platform independent because it can be displayed on any platform like Windows, Linux, Macintosh, etc. So the HTML is not any platform dependent. Like it's not that only Windows can open it or Mac can open it. Regardless of any platform, any operating system, the HTML documents can be open and written and edited. It facilitates the programmer to add graphic, videos, and sounds to the page, which makes it more attractive. So even you can add the graphics, videos, and sounds. HTML is a case-sensitive language, which means we can use text either in lowercase or uppercase. So the tag you're using is case-sensitive. You cannot use upper and lower together. You cannot mix it. If you're using uppercase, you have to use uppercase all the way. If you're using lowercase, you have to use all the way lowercase. So these tags here, HTML head, body, P. So these are like if you're using uppercase, you have to use all the way uppercase. If you're using lowercase, we are using lowercase here. But here you can use anything inside the body or inside the title. Like here we using upper and lower. So that doesn't matter. But the tags are matter. Either it should be a lower or upper. Any question, guys? So example of HTML. So all HTML document must start with a document type declaration, like doc type HTML, right? You should have the declaration. And then the HTML document itself begins with the HTML. So it's begins with the HTML to showing that it's the HTML documents and ends with the HTML. The visual part of the HTML document is between body and the body. So there is a report. So here, doc type HTML, we start with the HTML. This is the header where you put the title formatting elements. And then we close the title. And then we close the head. Then comes to the body part. So H1 is the first level. So we're saying like explanation of formatting elements. We close with the H1. P, this is like paragraph. Strong means like it will be a bold. So this is an important content. And again, strong, close with strong. So that means strong, both sides. That means this is an important content. This should be shows as a bold. And this is normal content. Finishing the body and HTML. When you run this HTML document, you will see this result here. Explanation of formatting element, which is bold, that we say it like strong. And this is an important content. We put it as a strong here. And this is a normal content. We didn't put any strong. So it is showing in a normal content. So that's how you will see your document.
So we don't see the title. Title doesn't display.
Which one?
The formatting elements.
No, we'll see the body on. The title is written. This is written to for the developer to understand what they are doing it.
Okay.
Okay, you will see only the body part when you execute this. Here, the body part. See, the visible part of the HTML document is between body and body. So whatever in the body you have, you'll see those things. Clear? So the anatomy of the HTML element. So here my cat is very grumpy, right? If we wanted a line to stand by itself, we could specify that it is a paragraph by enclosing it in paragraph text. So if we want to just see this as itself standalone, just simply this thing, we can do it by P. That means defining it as a paragraph. So P is opening tag, and my cat is a example is the content, and then P again is a closing tag. So altogether, this whole thing is an element, HTML element. So P dash cat is example dash P, whole thing is called as an HTML element. Understand? So what are the attributes HTML elements? So attributes contains extra information about the element. So we saw that here the my cat is grumpy, this whole thing is the element, right? Even the element can have attributes. That means that the element can have extra information that want to appear in the actual content. So here class is the attribute name. So we write P class equal editor note. So this class equal editor note, this is another attribute within our HTML element. Because my cat is very grumpy. This is a standalone element. So if we want to put extra information within the element, we can use the attribute. So the class attribute allows you to give the element a non-unique identifier that can be used to the target it and any other element with the same class value. Attribute should always have the following: a space between it and the element name. The attribute name followed by an equal sign. So the class equal. And you have a space here. When you're doing the defining the attribute, after a page, there should be a space. Whereas when we are doing element itself without attribute, there is no space. And this should also followed by the equal sign. And the attribute value wrapped by opening and closing quotation mark. And that value should be within quotation mark. So editor note, we have to quote it after the equal sign. And then we are giving our other elements information. My cat is grumpy. Any doubt?
Looks pretty simple when you see when you do it.
Yeah, I mean, these are very simple to write and read also. I mean, you can understand like what is there. It's not like coding that you don't understand. But there are several rules you need to follow actually when you're writing the HTML documentation. So images, there are like other elements of the HTML documentation, like images, and like it embed an image in your page positions where it should appear. You can do that via SRC, source attribute. So through the source attribute, you can tag any images within your HTML document. You can use the heading element that allows you to certain parts of your content are heading or subheading. You can use the paragraph as we showed by P, that containing paragraph text. You can use the list also, like list of like online shopping website. You can see the list of products. So those are list elements. They use list elements to list the products. So a lot of the webs contain list and HTML has special element for those, making always consist of two elements. The most common list type are ordered and ordered list. So it can have an ordered list or unordered list. You can also use the links. So these are very important because they are makes the web within a web, right? So it's like within your website, you can put any link, any document link or any other website link or any image link. When you click that, it will image that image or your other website or the text document. And it is used by A, begin, short form of anchor. A means.
Like the header thing, it doesn't display. We could also put some other kind of notes for myself or some
Yeah.
other developer.
Yes,
It's not
to
gonna show up,
understand
but
what is this HTML for, what you're writing there.
okay.
Or the other people to give them the still document, they can see the heading and understand that this is for this reason, describing these things. HTML is a special, yeah.
How do you like what do you so it doesn't show on the display? Like some kind of like opening and closing something.
In this way, in display, you will see only the body part information.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm writing those in the website, I'm writing the documentation. I'm showing the documentation, right? Those are like HTML. Only in the body, whatever is given, that you are seeing the web page. You're not seeing the other things in the heading, what I have written. So HTML attribute is a special word which provides additional information about the elements. As I said, like each element of text can have attributes which identifies the behavior of that element. An attribute should always be applied with the start tag. And the attribute should always be applied with its name and a value pair. So here you can see this is like an opening tag which refer to a attribute.darkbook.org is the opening tag. Within that, you have attribute name, h reference equal with the quotation. This is the attribute value. And then this attributes is opening attributes tag and then closing attributes tag. So this whole thing is a element. Within that element, you have a attributes. That means another information, extra information of visit Darbrook. So Darbrook, how you visit it, that information is given here, like http://darbrook.org. That's why you use the attributes. So here you can see that list, right? The anchor. So anchor element is used to create a hyperlink between a source anchor and a destination anchor. The source is the text, image, or button that links to another resource. And the destination is the resource that the source anchor links to. So anchor element is actually another hyperlink creating between two source. It can be a text, it can be an image, or a button. So here, like, if you're using P's paragraph, you can reach Michael at, then I'm using list. And then a reference, you can use xml.com or mail to this.com or telephone number, right? So these are the three information I'm giving that you can reach Michael through these three information. So it will show you this kind of this thing when output. So the website is not showing here this thing, right? It's just saying website because I put the website value as a HTTP the example.com. So this is showing only this part here. So when I click this, it will take me to example.com website. If I click the email, it will take me to the email to compose the email and send it back. If I click here, it will show or take me to the phone number. So this is like called anchor element. Here you can see only the reference text, but not actual contents of the text. Clear? Any question, guys? No? So HTTP equates the URL path, right? So URL, we know that uniform resource locator. Then identifies the resource on the server and give you the network location of the server. The URL path is a string of information that comes after the top level domain name. So you can use the HTTP proxy to block website that contains a specified text in the URL path. You can also add, delete, or modify your URL path pattern. So you can use the asterisk for 0 to or more instance in alphanumeric character, or you can use question mark for any alphanumeric numeric character. So for example, like to block the entire website and all its contents, you must type /* after your domain name. So here, like your domain name is www.example.net. If you want to block this domain name and all of its content not too visible, you can do it writing this /* dot. So these are like block, website URL path, block, these things. I mean, you don't need actually these things, just to give you an idea. How you link a specific part of the page with the 4 steps. So you can also link to a specific part of the page. If you want to link anything to your documents with any part of your page, you can link it there by giving a title to the text you would like to link. You can put the title on an opening HTML anchor link tag, and then you insert the anchor tag around the text you want to link, and then create a hyperlink that leads to you the text, like the one we see it here. Yeah, the way you link it. So what is the benefit of linking the specific part of the page? It improves your navigation because you don't need to go all the way writing those example.com. You can click the anchor and it will take you there, right? That gives you the navigation improvement, enhance the efficiency and increase the organization bandwidth better. You can use like different elements within your HTML form also. Like this contains like input, label, select, text area, button, field set, legend, data list, output, option group. These all are the elements of a HTML language. You can use any of these tags to design your web page, create your web page. So the input form element is used to create interactive controls for web page forms in order to accept data from the user. So like you see that logging information, it's kind of an input element they used where you input your username and password. So it controls the available depending on the device and user agent. The input element is one of the most powerful and complex in all of the HTML due to the sheer number of combination of input types and attributes. So the input types is actually a important element within the HTML documentation because it's require more than one element, and it's kind of a little complex because it's need to connect with your database where it takes the input data and validate against the database to give you authentication or any kind of forms or any kind of registrations forms where you have to enter your data and save it. So this is a simple input. Like here we have did like we label it name and we define that 4 to 8 character, and input type is text. It can be ID name and then length and size. So when you run these things, you'll get this output, and here you can enter the characters from 4 to 8. So the form we use, those are like input elements. So how do you write the HTML code? You can use any text editor to create your HTML document. So open a text editor and then create a new file. Save the file as a index.html. So whenever you are saving the file, if it is HTML document, you have to save the file .html. That way the file will be saved as HTML and it can be opened through the text editor. You can use any text editor you want, even the system text editor provided by the Windows, Notepad, and Macros OS text editor. You guys can open your Notepad. Go ahead and open the Notepad from your computer. Everyone open the Notepad. Then you can write let me paste here.
What you
You can write these two line here. So normally what you're gonna do, let's see. Copy from the chat and put it in your notepad. I put it on the chat. You guys can open the chat and copy from there. And then save it as a HTML. Everyone able to do that?
HTML
Yes,
space.
dot, no space. So you can write it like test dot HTML and save it on your computer. And then you click that, open it, and you'll see you'll not see the code, you'll see the output.
Sorry, I could not follow. What do I have to do first?
So, okay, let me show you here. Hold on. You open the notepad. Are you
Okay.
able to open the notepad?
Let me check.
Yeah.
So once you open the notepad, you can go through the chat window where I put that thing, the HTML document. You copy this.
Yeah, I
highlight.
just opened Notepad.
Okay, then copy this from the chat window.
Copy. Which one?
From the chat window on your Zoom, you see the chat there, chat screen.
Yeah.
On the chat, I have given the document. Copy this, Control C, and Control V on your notepad. So it will paste there. How can you do it? You could do it. Toha?
Let's see.
Yeah, I did it.
I have to type it because I'm using the other computer.
I just paste and control and
Okay.
paste,
Yeah,
and I
then
save it.
save it as
Dot
HTML.
HTML.
Yeah, when you click that
Yeah.
file on the computer, you will not see this code. You will see the output.
I just pasted it in my notepad and tried to save it in my desktop, but
Yeah,
it's saying
save it.
that this file contains character in Unicode format.
No, no,
It will
no.
be locked.
You save it as a HTML. You didn't save it as a HTML. That's why.
Okay, I'm trying again.
When
Now
you
they
save,
come in like
yeah,
save it after open. They come and write your first heading.
yes.
So
It will,
I'm
it
in
will,
on track. No.
yes, it will come as the output I showed you, the same way it will show you. You see, you write your first heading and write your first paragraph.
Yeah. How do you have to write something, right?
No, no, no. You don't have to write. That's the output you will see.
Okay.
There's the HTML. When you write the HTML, right? The web page.
Yeah.
Backend, we write this kind of code, right?
Yeah.
But when you open the web page, google.com, you don't see this code, right? You'll see all these contents like this, right?
Yeah.
So that's what like that. That's what I just wanted to show you how the HTML output is when you write the code and execute it.
So where is the we paste and control where the writing is gone?
Yeah.
After open, I don't see anything else. We like control and paste, nothing is there.
Yeah. So if you want to see that code, right?
Yes.
Again, you want to open with the notepad. So you have to open the notepad and open the file in notepad. You'll see the code, not your output.
So there is another question. I do like in notepad, if I do in like a Microsoft Word document, is coming is same way, no difference.
No, HTML, if you put in the Microsoft Word, you will not get the output. You will get the document,
Oh.
whatever you wrote.
Okay.
You will not get the output like you are seeing it. Write your first heading and write your first paragraph.
Can you please share your screen that what to do after pasting
Okay.
this in Notepad?
Let me share.
Yeah, thank you.
So you guys see my computer screen?
Yeah.
So you see here Notepad,
Yeah.
I copied and typed this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I filed and save as, right?
Yes.
Instead of here test dot HTML, right? I'm
Yes.
saving as a HTML and then save. Since I have already saved it, okay, I just replace it. Okay. So here is my file test, right? You can see?
Yeah, I was doing the same, but
Yeah.
can I share my screen?
Then I click it and you will see that it's open with the window. Hold on. You see there, write your first heading, write your first paragraph. Can you see it?
Like mine is coming, both are the same size.
Why?
Like all bold and big.
No, it
Not
will
the
be
one
the
is smaller,
bold.
one is bigger.
Yeah, one is smaller, one is bold and big. There's two different
Mine is
ones.
became bold, both the same size.
Both the same
What did I
size?
do wrong? Yeah.
Okay, let me show one by one.
But
Okay,
I
who's gonna
typed
share it?
I typed it because I couldn't
Then
copy it.
then you have did some mistake maybe there.
Yeah, let me double check on that.
Okay, who's gonna show?
Yeah, mine came the
You want to
same.
share it? Okay, hold on.
We copied it, buddy. Oh, okay. Right.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have the permission sharing.
Okay,
Was
hold on.
disabled.
Recording in progress.
Okay, go ahead. Who's gonna share?
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
What was I?
Is it visible?
Who is sharing? Farooq Khan?
No,
Okay.
Hassan.
I send you the
Oh, no.
text.
Okay. Okay, you're not sharing your content. Sharing Zoom. Share your content.
Okay, this is the
Okay.
and from the chat, I just copy the chat and pasted it in my notepad.
Yeah, see. So it will not show you you highlight all of them and do the rep, word rep. Highlight all the content from beginning. You highlight all the content and go to the edit format. Click on the format, word rep. See, now you have to, after doc type, enter in the chat the way, enter, and then one tab, press one tab. No, after HTML, from beginning. And the HTML beginning, press tab. Yeah. And then after HTML, press enter. Enter. And then another head, enter from head after head. Then after head title, last here, press enter. All the way at last title. And then after head, press enter for body. Before body. Yep, enter. And then after body, enter. And then P after H1, all the way down H1, close H1. All the way down here, enter. And then again P, after P, enter. All the way P and NP.
Okay.
And then after body, enter. So this is like doc type and then starting with HTML and close with HTML, right? You take the HTML on the all the way here, beginning, the second HTML. There's a gap, right? Go up.
Yeah.
Go up. Go up to the HTML second, yeah. Take that gap. Bring it on the left side, yeah. And then
Sorry?
body, yeah. Now file save as. Take out this, right? Test, T-E-S-T, dot HTML. Click that, yeah. And where are you saving? Desktop?
Yeah, desktop.
Okay, yes. Click yes, replace.
This window appears after saving this.
Okay, click OK. Okay, show your desktop.
So that's the one.
It test, right?
Question marks.
So basically, the way the HTML is written, right?
Okay.
When I send you the files, right? You exactly copy that and paste it. So you'll not see all these things because there is a gap, right? All those gaps will give you all these question marks.
Oh, I got it.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Who's gonna share?
Me.
Okay.
Are we supposed to, let me see, share. So are we supposed to see that page?
Yes. When you run, you're supposed to see this page only.
Okay.
You don't see the code.
Yeah.
So if you want to see the code, you click that file again and open as a notepad. Or you open the notepad and then file, open. Click the file, open. No, click the file here.
Yeah, but
the top.
how I get that? So I didn't go on view. I just copy and paste it, and then I save it. That's easy. That's easy way I did that.
Yeah. But normally you need to write these things.
Okay.
So normally you write the course here on the notepad and save it as HTML. And you click it, click the open that file, just click it, you will see all the contents. You will not see the codes here.
Yeah.
You don't see that. But if you want to see the course and then modify it, then you have to open the notepad and open that file in notepad, so you'll see the code again and modify it. Now, if you open the notepad and instead of write first heading, change the content there and save it and click it, you will see the different content, whatever you wrote up there.
Okay. I will stop sharing.
Okay. Who else want to share? Everyone got it?
Mine is the same thing.
What? Show me.
I send you text.
Same thing is what you're getting that question
I don't,
mark?
I didn't copy it. I didn't copy it. I could type it up.
Okay, so I mean, if you type it the way I send the file, right? Let me share it.
But it's like I got the output, but it's the same size and bold, both of them.
Farouk, do you mind to share your screen? Like, what do you get so we can learn like what else it could happen?
I cannot because I'm using the other computer.
Okay.
I'm actually on Zoom in an Apple, but I'm using the program on my laptop.
Okay. Okay.
So here, guys, like the program. Am I sharing the screen with you guys?
No, we didn't see anything.
Didn't see any screen.
We do see your screen. Okay, now we can see. Yeah.
Okay, so this was my output I was getting, and
Yeah.
the file I was.
The same thing is coming up again and again.
Okay.
Thank you.
See, when I open that file, right, in the notepad, I see my code, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I change it,
I got it this time.
got it?
Yeah, because I couldn't put backslash.
Yeah, that's why
After
you're just
H1.
missing there something. So if I save it, and then if I open, if I open it again, test. See it changes.
Yeah.
So it says like, hello, how are you? Because I changed the content on my web page.
Yeah.
And if I want to open this file, notepad, and open that file, all file. So this one was showing as a web page, right? But when I was
Yeah.
opening Notepad, I can see my code now. And you can go ahead and change and add many things here. So whatever you change here, modify here, save it, and you click that file, it will be changed here. Clear, guys? Or any doubt?
I think we need to practice.
Yeah, so basically you need to practice here, like
practice.
modify these things, modify some of the title, some of the heading body. Maybe you can add some of the pictures and save it. Like you need to play around with these things a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm just waiting, like whenever you send us the learning materials, so we
Yeah.
can study more and then practice more.
Yes. So this is pretty simple language actually. It's pretty easy to understand and also write it. Okay. So those are the steps here actually. Saying it completed and then you will see these things. So those are like HTML. Now XML, what is the XML? So XML is also a software hardware independent tool for storing and transporting data. So XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. Is a markup language much like HTML. It's mostly similar. And XML was designed to store and transport data. It was designed to descriptive, and it's a W3C recommendation. So XML is also a markup language like HTML. So XML does not do anything. So normally maybe it is a little hard to understand, but XML does not do anything. This is a node to like a same thing like XML. You can like copy and you can put in the text. You can copy and paste on a notepad and copy and post a notepad and then you can check. Notepad is so so the XML above is quite self-descriptive, like sender informations, receiver informations, a message body, but still the XML above does not do anything. XML is just the information wrapped in a tag. So someone must write a piece of software to send, receive, store, and display. So when I put it like XML, it's not giving me anything actually. See, but it just giving me that text like heading, event, all these things. But if I want to change it to XML, Save it as
Okay.
save. So here I can see the output instead of, yeah, instead of that, this code. So XML also a markup language like HTML, but it does not do anything itself. So what is the difference then with the XML and HTML? So XML and HTML were designed with different goals. XML was designed to carry data with focus on what data is. And HTML was designed to display data. So XML is actually not to display, but it carries the data throughout the network from client to server. And HTML is to display the data, how data looks. And XML tags are not predefined like HTML tags. So HTML tags are not predefined like HTML tags are predefined, like you need to use the HTML or P for paragraph, A for anchor tag. But XML, you don't have any predefined tags. So the XML language has no predefined tags, and the tags in the example above, like what we see here, like to and from, are not defined in any XML standard. These tags are invented by the author of XML document. HTML works with the predefined tag like P, H1, table, etc. And with XML, the author must define both the tag and the document structure. So in XML, you need to define your tag or structure, but in HTML, it's already predefined for you. You don't need to define it. Okay. So XML is extensible, and most XML's application will work as expected even if new data is added or removed. And like here you see an old version and a new version. So old version, the time here, in new version, you have the time tag. You can put a time tag, but here you don't have reminder, you don't have the date tag in the old one, but new one, we modified and put the date tag. So here, like these are like a predefined, not predefined, these are like defined by the author. Note, date, what hour, and to whom, from whom, and what is the body message. So these are like defined by the author. So these are the example of the XML. So here, like, is defined, right? Head, title, body. Then you have a H1, level 1. Then date line, location, data, deadline, body. So these are like kind of HTML, which is have a predefined body, all this version, all these things and versions. You can copy this and play with this. And I put it in the chat, so you can take it from there. So XML and browser, right? So Google Chrome can be used as an XML file browser and syntax checker. Also, Mozilla Firefox can be used as XML file browser and syntax checker. You can even the Internet Explorer can be used as an XML file browser and syntax checker. XML Spy is a popular XML editor development tool, but it can also use as XML browser. So to edit the XML and run it, you can use your XML Spy editor, or you can all use your Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox to open your XML file browser and syntax checker. Here, google.com, and then if you see like view page source, you see the XML, that page of all these functions. If you do inspect, you see this document type HTML, XML, HTML language. So this page has all this code here. That's how it's written this code, and you see this page. Instead of seeing this XML, HTML codes, you'll see the page. So from here also you can see what HTML codes are given. They have a given class. So when I'm clicking here, it's showing this page here. That means this is the div class. This line is for the highlighted one, what you're seeing here. So if you go here, same is going here, you're going down, right? And if you do here, it goes up. So all these codes are associated with some of the elements on this page. Some of the elements on this page. That's why when you are hovering it here, you can see the bar is moving on the elements based on the code. Clear? You guys see it? Hello? Did you guys see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so did you understand this thing? How the XML, HTML working on the page? What I showed you, there's the one example. So you can inspect it and see those HTML documents based on the pages. So there is XML file format. It's based on the XML document object model. That is a programming API and HTML and XML document. The XML document defines the standard method of accessment and manipulate the XML documents elements. It makes a tree structure. So normally it's a kind of a tree here. What you see here is kind of a tree structure. Like you have a root, and then you got the attributes elements. Under that you have elements, and each elements have the different contents, maybe title, author, year, price. And then again, this element has another text, which is in Italian. This element has another text like this. So it's kind of a tree, branches, the document is. So this is another example like catalog, CD, the title of the CD is, then which country it is. This is USA. So opening by country and close by country in the middle, there's the information. Same as for the title. The company is a Colombia. They have a price tag, the year, and then close by CD, and then catalog. So this is how it's more similarly it's like HTML documents. And XML is a XML Spy is a editor through which you can open the XML files. So that's all for today and for XML, HTML, and web server. Any questions you may have on this?
Which attack we don't.
Anyone have any question on this module?
A lot of questions. Or no questions.
Lot of questions.
Or
Okay,
no
tell me.
questions. So let us practice and then we can decide.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you the documentations. You can go through on that. And if you have any doubt, ask me. And also try practice that XML documentation to create the XML HTML files and execute it and see.
Okay.
Okay, so there are different tags which I explained throughout the course. You can use those different tags.
We are finished for today.
Yes.
Okay. So please
So
send the
next
like
week
all.
we'll start
all
with the
not-
network basic.
Okay. Because I did
So
not
you
receive
guys
any note.
practice the DOS, which I sent it.
Because I
DOS
don't
comment?
get any notes. Please
Okay,
send
okay.
it.
You didn't get it. Okay. The others who got it, you guys practice it?
I
Neither I
practice
got. I didn't get
Outlook.
it.
Okay. So only Polly got it.
Yeah, I got and I practice the Outlook and comment is still a little bit confusing for me.
Why is confusing? Like it's pretty simple for comments.
I don't know. So now, right now I only got that study materials. So whenever everybody get, they will, and I will also practice more. But can we have like little bit extra, spend a little bit extra time whenever everybody practice, and if they have question, or if you can show us how to do that again.
Yeah. So next week I'll have maybe 1 hour practice session on the DOS and then XML. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So go ahead and practice it and see, and then I mean,
Yeah.
if you have a question, you can go on the practice hour, lab hour.
Okay.
And so only Polly got it. So I'll send today for all of you to get it. I have the
So you want us whenever we receive, we send you the the reply message that we got it, so you'll know that.
yes. I mean, I sent it, but I thought like everyone got it. I don't know why. I have to check back again.
Okay, next time we'll reply.
Yeah, just reply on the WhatsApp chat that you got the email. Then it's fine. You don't need to write the
Oh.
email. You know, that
Okay.
chat group is there for anything. So you can reply there also.
Okay.
You got the email
Okay.
or study materials.
Okay.
So in that way, I know that who got it or not. So I can see like, is there any missing information in the email or something didn't go through. Because I didn't check the email from yesterday, so I don't know. Maybe the email address was wrong I provided. So I had to recheck it.
I check everything, that mail, the all mail. I don't get anything.
Okay. Okay, I'll send it
Yeah.
today again and confirm
Okay.
if you don't
And
get
also-
it or get it.
Okay, I have a one question, like I'm not able to join next Saturday classes due to I have a marathon at
Mhm.
Dayton Air Force Marathon.
Okay.
So if you can give me the note in Saturday note, that I'll be check it in the night time.
Okay. Okay,
Please.
I'll send a note and also send you the recordings so you can hear it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
it.
Yeah. So are you going for marathon morning?
Yes.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I can do it, but it's little
Yeah,
time,
that's
more time. That's all.
that's fun. That's fine. So inshallah, I'll see you guys next week.
Okay,
And
thank
See
you.
you.
I'll send
Thank
you
you
the
so much.
email and you guys response me in the WhatsApp chat whether you got or not the email. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank you
Okay.
so much. Assalamu
Thank
alaikum.
you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, ma'am.